Live.
Okay, I think we're live.
I think so.
Guys, we're unsupervised today. No males in
It's a poor
in the call.
choices.
Oh God. Are you guys ready
Wake up to morning roasts.
Rainbow, dildo, butt monkey are 4 words no one ever imagined uttering in the same sentence, but here we are. 3, 2, oh my God, Mr. Porkchop!
Oh, there you are. Hello.
You do you, but I'll do myself. Oh no, God. Haywood Jablomi, thanks for the 10 Canadian. I love my Canadians out there.
Yeah, I like a rich tea when it's like super soggy and it's like flopping around.
Ori! Use 150 bits to play a part.
Did I say it right?
I have no idea. Oh no!
God, this is going bad. This is bad.
Pickle juice. Pickle juice.
Wake up to morning roasts. Damn Tuggs, Xray, they're the hosts. Wake up.
Actually, I think a cup of coffee is just what I need.
Yeah.
I want that in my mouth.
Xray, they're the hosts. Wake up, we your crew. Starting the day just right for you.
Where's the girl? I need a cup of coffee.
Good. Oh, dang it. Good morning. We're starting
so
off
close.
really well.
Listen, I'm still in my pajamas. Okay. So
Oh, I thought you were in like some sort of scrubs.
no, I got these and they're matching shorts. They're like sangria, and I thought it was appropriate. I mean, I wear them anyway, but I thought it was especially appropriate this morning because we missed poor choices last night. So I'm bringing the
Yes.
poor choices vibes with me. I got these at I got these at Buc-ee's.
Oh, I love Buc-ee's.
I
You
do
know how much I
too.
love Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
So,
So, yeah.
love it. How was last night for you? Why did we cancel Poor Choices? I just want to let you
Oh
tell
yeah,
your
I saw some
story.
of you missed the memo. I'm so sorry, you guys. We got and I posted, if you're on Twitter and you follow me on Twitter, I just quote tweeted like a thread of people posting the damage and whatnot. Austin got slammed with 60-mile-an-hour winds, golf ball to baseball sized hail, depending on the area you were at. Just this massive thunderstorm caused a lot of flooding, and it was headed right for us. They had a tornado warning, which means one touchdown somewhere, but I don't know where. But I think Austin got hit by it because Duke was at work, so he was in the thick of it, and he sent me video, and the wind's like blowing everywhere. So we live in an RV park, as most of you know, and I don't know if you guys know this, but RVs don't do well with hail. So we packed the animals up last minute. Like I called her and I'm like, we're going under the under the underpass.
Can I preface this with we're debating
We were
on
debating
Poor Choices
because my parents
like
are
yesterday.
in town.
And she's like, okay, yeah, no, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Like we should do it. My parents understand. And then she calls me 15 minutes before
Literally, like we're headed under the overpass. I'm so sorry. And here's the worst part: is we get there, we get settled, the rain comes in, and then within a half an hour, it was clear, and we were fine.
Yeah, like so. These are some pictures on Twitter from Austin tornado. Like,
yeah, I think it touched down. None of the weather people have said that it touched down, like, the weather scientists or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that tornado hit the ground.
Window is broken.
Yeah. The hail was not pretty.
Oh,
it's crazy.
My God.
And 30 minutes later, there it is, rainbow, and it's fine.
Damn. Wow.
But better safe than sorry. So, like me, my parents, we grabbed all the animals. There's the tornado, the supercell. Coming through. It hit. I know it hit Austin, but there's no confirmed reports. It's weird. I don't know. But yeah,
I don't know, those 70 to 90 miles per hour wind. That's a lot. That's
it's a
fast.
lot. Yeah, 2 inches diameter. Some people reported even bigger than that, like baseball size. Like
Hell, damn. Your poor
crazy.
like house. Like that's not gonna be okay.
No, I know. Oh man, people were posting pictures of trees that have fallen over. Duke's Hospital lost power
Oh geez.
for
Because
like
that's
30
also
minutes.
really good.
Yeah, and like crazy stuff. So, and Texas is wild because by the time it hit us, and we could see it coming. Like we left the RV park and where we loop around, and there's an underpass that we were hiding under. Everybody was under there, and you could see it coming. It was just this black wall of darkness, and then it was
gotta be
like,
black.
I know, and I was like, I'm gonna go this way instead, and we, I don't know, we got lucky. So, RIP to
I
the
am
South.
very glad.
Yeah,
Also,
me
I
too.
just found this, by the way. Do we like having the comments come up when people comment?
Oh, it's
I don't know.
cool.
It's if we ever lose the chat, I guess it's kind of nice having that there.
Ooh, how long does it stay up for?
I have no
I
idea.
don't know. I have it on my Twitter or on my Twitch because it's got all
Mhm.
3 so people can see each other's chats. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So,
Oh, hi Davina. Good
Mm.
morning. Oh, this is nice. I like it.
okay, so it's 5 comments.
Okay. That's not
Okay.
bad.
Oh, okay. If our chat's like not too crazy, this is actually kind of nice. So,
That's cool.
should we
I
keep
like
it, chat? Should we keep it?
I like it. I don't know.
Yeah. Kick Xray, she's spamming. I know. Yeah, can we ban myself from my channel, please? How rude of me. Anyways, so we have a couple topics. We have the Harry Potter casting, and I
Oh,
just
yes.
saw that George R.R. Martin did a not a blog post, which will be interesting to see what he has to say. But
Man.
before we begin, I thought we'd start a little light. You know, I like being a little light and funny, maybe funny. So I thought this was
Please
kind of
don't do that, Commander Keen. Jeez.
no, please don't. Tom Cruise is the same age as Ian McKellen when he played Gandalf. What is he taking? Now, Ian
Oh.
McKellen also wore like a gray beard and had gray hair. Gray hair does not help a person look young, okay?
Well, yeah, but if you pull him out of costume, like you could tell that man is a 60. Like you look at Ian
60-year-old.
McKellen and you could tell that he was in his 60s. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh yeah, that's a 60-year-old man. Everybody knows Ian McKellen. You know, I don't know. Here's my thing. I know everybody jokes about like the adrenochrome and stuff, but I honestly think that part of the reason Tom Cruise looks as good as he does is because he's so physical. He works
He's
out.
so fit.
He loves life. Like he's always happy. He
Seems happy,
takes
yeah,
the
yeah.
positive. You know what I mean? Like, and he just does what he loves so much. And he's physical. He's a physical person. And he always has been. He's been that way for 30 plus years. So, you know, get out of the house and go touch grass. Maybe you'll look like Tom Cruise too.
Botox? I don't think he does Botox, at least on his forehead. From what I could tell, his face
Yeah,
does move.
I think around here he does. There's been times where
around
I'm
the
like, oh,
crow's lines, yeah, which is fine because you need to, as especially white actors, they express a lot through their forehead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I can only raise my eyebrows. I can't do the furrow brow thing that y'all do with that gets this part like squeezed together.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't do that. And
He
I
looks
don't do
great.
Botox. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't have.
And he
Botox.
does dye his hair. He does dye his hair. But I mean,
It makes a huge
no,
difference.
not the hair dye.
I've seen 40-year-old people who have full gray hair and they look older than people with like that 60 that dye their
Mhm.
hair. So it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I don't know.
So.
I just love Tom Cruise. We will not slander Tom Cruise here. No Tom Cruise slander in the presence of Tuggs. I love Tom Cruise.
I love Tom Cruise too. He's crazy, but it works. It works. So, anyways, let's start with the Not a Blog. I think this will be quite interesting because I've not read Winds of Winter. I've watched the TV show, you know, Game of Thrones, and we all know how that ended. So he wrote a post yesterday, talks about random stuff. And then he goes, I know, some of you will be pissed off by this, as you are by everything. I announce here that it is not about Westeros or the Winds of Winter. You have given up on me or the book. I will never finish Winds of Winter. If I do, I will never finish A Dream of Spring. If I do, it won't be any good. I ought to get some writer to pinch hit for me. I'm going to die soon anyway because I'm so old. I lost all interest in A Song of Fire and Song of Ice and Fire decades ago. I don't give a crap about writing anymore. I just sit around and spend my money. I edit the wildcard books too. But you hate wildcards. You may hate everything else I've written, the Hugo winners and Hugo losers, A Song for Laya and The Dying Light, Dying of the Light, Sand Kings and Beauty and the Beast, yada, yada, yada. All the anthologies I edited with Gardner Dozois. You don't care about any of those. I know. You don't care about anything but Winds of Winter. You told me so often. I can't believe he actually wrote this down.
What did you get to the point, George?
The thing is, I do care about them. I care about Westeros and Winds as well. The Starks and Lannisters and Targaryens, Tyrion and Asha, Dany and Daenerys, and the dragons and direwolves. I care about them all more than you can imagine. But if you care about them, why isn't the book written? You've had how many years since the last one came out?
It's been 15.
Yeah. Oh, you care so much. So much.
It's been 15. He's released. I found somebody. It's been a while since I had not even finished Winds of Winter. He's released 11 chapters out of the book, and they're good. But it's like,
yeah. Let's see. I love how Gary has a counter. He just Googles it. How many days since the last Winds of Winter?
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm gonna look up.
4,168 days.
Is it? Did he post it already?
No. This is just Google.
Oh.
Since the last book, A Dance of Dragons, which was 2011. So I care so much. It's taking me plus 15 years to even think about it.
Oh my gosh, as of March 20th, 2025, it has been exactly 5,000 days. We should have done a party. I mean, it's May now, but
Wait, did I get the right one? Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
I'm just Googling. Either way, it's a lot of days. Okay, 2011 was a long time ago. He stopped. That last book came out right as the first season was filming, and we've had an entire show and 2 seasons of another show since then.
Yep. And you had so much time to work on everything, but yet 15 years, you haven't written the next book. Are you that bored with your life?
I'm telling you right now, and I've been calling this, like, as good as George R. R. Martin is, he thinks he's like God's gift to whatever, and he's really not. But I am calling it right now. He does not want to finish the book because of the backlash of the last season. Even though it had really nothing to do with his story, everybody was complaining about the Dan and Dave and whoever and how it was rushed and all that stuff, and nobody liked the fact that Bran is on the throne. I think it ends the same way. Obviously, it's going to be very different how we get there, but I think it ends the same way, and he's a coward. And he is trying to figure out a way to change it, and I don't know if he can. And I think he can't get himself to finish it because he doesn't want to hear it about Bran being on the throne again. I think that he's
Yeah, and
I think he's a coward. I think he doesn't want to finish it. I think he's trying to find a way to change it from whatever the original ending was, which is, I think, is the ending we got. I think Bran ends up on the throne in the books too. That was the big plot twist. I think it's very similar to the ending we got, and I think that he's a coward and he doesn't want to write that, and he's trying to find ways to change it. Yes, he's a coward.
will he be able to is the question. And
I don't know.
I think fear is a huge one, especially with how crazy the show got. Like, I know he was popular before the show, but was he super mainstream popular?
No. He was fantasy. I mean, the books, nobody had heard, not nobody, but only hardcore like fantasy people had heard of the books before the show came out. The show put the books, they did well. Like, I'm not saying he's not poor or anything, and they didn't sell. They were bestsellers, but the show put the books on the map for everybody else. For people that maybe didn't think about reading a fantasy book or picking them up or whatever. That is what made them more popular. So it's just No.
I wish he finished them before the show got popular, because then he wouldn't have the fear
Mhm.
of the fallout of writing a bad story.
Yeah. Well, and that would have saved the showrunners so much too, because then they would have had an actual ending that they could have worked off of. You know what I mean?
Instead of making up their own
He left
with
it
his help.
open-ended. Yeah, he left it open-ended, and he let them kill off characters that are still alive in the books, and vice versa. And he let them back themselves into a corner. And then it was at the end finally where he was like, "Oh, by the way, this is how this is supposed to end." And at that point, HBO was like, "We're running out of money. Not running out of money, but like this is getting really pricey. Yeah, it's doing well, but where are we going with this?" They have all these meetings, and Dan and Dave were going to be possibly doing a Star Wars movie. And it's like, well, we've come to the end. We're in a corner now that we can't get out of. So we might as well just take his ending or what he's given us for this and put it together as best we can. And that's how we got the rushed stuff that we did. I still enjoyed it. I'm one of the few people that did, but it was rushed. Like you can't say that it wasn't rushed. And so he did that to them. They want to blame, the showrunners only, but it's not just them.
It is a group effort.
Yeah, he backed them into that corner. So
yeah. I like how chat saying Daniel and Christian, JK finished her books before the movie, which very helpful. I think JK did a nice job like wrapping it up, although a lot more people died than I anticipated and made me sad. Like,
in the show.
well, no, in the book, like spoiler alert, like the twins, one of the twins. I remember
Harry
that
Potter.
hurting.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That hurt so much. Like a twin. Oh no. They've been best friends forever. So
yep.
You never know who's gonna, die. In the book, though, guys, who do you think should have been on the throne in the end? Out of curiosity.
I wanted Gendry. I think, hear me out. So this was my theory, especially when
It's too nice.
no, this was my if George had any like smartness to him other than what he already has, he's a good writer, don't get me wrong, he's pretty good, but if he had any forethought, my theory was that it was going to be Gendry on the throne at the end, and here's why. Jon doesn't want it. Daenerys is a tyrant, okay? So he's gonna kill Daenerys. That's happening. She's not taking the throne, guys. I'm sorry, but she's gonna die. And then he's not gonna want the throne. So and Gendry in the show was legitimized by her. So he is the heir, and the way that this country is run is he's now a legitimate blood heir to the king. So technically now she's the usurper, right? And so he killing her, he kills the usurper. They put Gendry on the throne because Jon doesn't want it, and we've come full circle. It's a Targaryen that put a Baratheon or a Stark that put a Baratheon on the throne, and we're back in full circle. And then Tyrion could be his hand and nothing else changes. But Gendry is back on the throne because there's no way that Westeros finds out that Gendry is now a Baratheon, which means he's a legitimized, which means he's the king's heir. And that the country would have never accepted Daenerys anyway, solely because of the bloodline. They would have never accepted her. So she is the usurper now. And that was that. And then we become full circle. We have a stag on the throne, a Stark put him there, and here we are again. And he's a good man. He's a good man, so it would be a good king. Anyway, that was my hope.
Interesting. I have no idea who I would have wanted on the throne. In my head, like prior to season 6, I guess, like Dany should have been on the throne. But when she started having her spiral, which wasn't portrayed very well in the show, it was hard to make her the evil person. At least in the show. I mean, in the book, maybe it would have changed my mind. I don't know. Because it just felt so rushed. It was hard to go from a positive beacon of hope that she is, breaker of chains, to insane woman.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm crazy because I saw it coming from the beginning. And I know I've read the books now, but you could see it. Maybe not the first 2 seasons, but the minute she started freeing slaves, her ego went way up there. She was untouchable. She could do no wrong. It was her way or the highway. She killed innocent people when she took over the Misa and all that, or Misa, whatever the places she took over, and freed all the slaves. She killed innocent people that were not even masters. They mentioned it several times in the show. It was, it was right there. I don't know how nobody saw it coming. Everybody was so mad. I'm like,
maybe it was too subtle for someone like me who's super normie.
Maybe. maybe it might have been too subtle, and they were going to build on it, which you
They
could
should have
see it
built
coming more and
more
more
on
and
it.
more. It
Yeah.
was, I don't know, but yeah.
But
I mean,
anyways, what that is what is left of Winds of Winter. We'll
Yeah.
see what ends up happening, but I don't think there's gonna be anything happening.
yeah,
So
we're
what
never
was that?
getting
Her progression was more
more
something?
pronounced in the books. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's getting
I think
more
I need to
pronounced.
read it.
And she's also, here's something fun, which I don't know why. I mean, I don't know that it will matter in the end, but I find it interesting that George was okay with this change. In the book, she's not fireproof either. Like, the only time that she escapes fire is in the very first book when she hatches the dragons, just like in the show, the baby dragons. And that's because of the dragons. It's the magic of the witch that she kills that put Khal Drogo into the coma, and the magic surrounding that saves her from that fire. She's not fireproof. She burns herself on Drogon all the time. Like,
Oh,
you can't
really?
even touch. Yeah, you can't even touch the dragons. Their skin is hot. So the books, where we find her in the books, is when you remember in the show when all the slaves, the harpies invade the fighting ring that they have, and she takes off on Drogon, and like they escape together. In the books, that's where we leave her, and the horsey people, all those names are escaping me now, are surrounding her to pick, just like in the show, they surround her and they pick her up because Drogon leaves her, but she takes off on his back and her hands are burned and her hair gets burned off because the dragons are scalding hot, that you can't just touch them. So I don't know why they made that change in the show, probably to make her more godlike, I guess. I don't know, but she's she's not fireproof. None of the Targaryens were. They could tame the dragons and they could ride them, although I don't know how, if they're hot saddles, I guess. But so that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know. And then it ended up not mattering anyway because she died. So
yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh well. We'll see.
I never liked her though. I'm a little biased. Can't stand her. It's just me.
There is. Oh, go ahead.
Shout out to Emilia Clarke though. She did a great job.
I think she did a good job.
We love her.
With that. All right. Speaking of a woman, maybe, I don't know. Demi Lovato made news this week. She got married, but of course, she has made a huge change.
Literally. Oh, this was the before and after photo I was looking for last night, trying to explain this to my parents who were very confused by all this stuff. And I'm like, these photos are what, maybe a year and a half apart? Two tops?
Two tops. But like she, when she went all woke and she had a they, them pronouns and she shaved her head, and it's crazy how big of a difference it made on her. Yeah. And maybe she was going through something. I have no freaking clue.
Women are shapeshifters. We really can be. Yeah. These photos are probably a 2 years max apart. And in that 2 years, I'm going to go with the Zempic, but she went on the Zempies.
Probably helped.
It probably helped. Grew her hair back out long. She's back to her old self, like the cute, bubbly, whatever self, and managed to find a man and get married. Like, what the?
Yeah.
The freak? What's going on here?
Like, she was triple her size now.
Yeah. With the shaved head and screaming about equality. Who knows what she was doing, honestly. Look at that. What the?
I'm not going to lie. She kind of looks like Megan Fox in this photo. I did mistake her at first. But, wow. What a difference.
It's wild to me how quickly a lot of these girlies are flipping backwards.
Well, it was also a trend, and that's the scary part about some of these things. Like, when it's a trend, do we believe that this is something that will stick? Especially with like teenagers. I wouldn't assume that that's going to be who they are. It's like when teenagers are goth, like super crazy goth. And then you see them like years later after university, and they've transformed into more of an adult person. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm saying goth is a bad look, but there's trends that happen like that.
Yeah.
Especially the emo trend when I was in high school. Understand how many girls and guys wore black eyeliner and all this black crazy clothes with metal everywhere, piercings galore, and then a very huge change in looks after. Now I really like her dress. I think it suits her quite
Yeah,
a
her
bit.
wedding pictures are. I have no idea who this guy is.
No
Are we-
idea. It's probably
he
a good
doesn't
thing.
look. Listen, I'm gonna pull a hardcore judgy. I was not aware that one was into women, but just by looking at him. But kudos. The photos are great, and she has like 80 bazillion wedding dresses from the pictures. Like that's a completely different dress.
I love this dress on her. She looks fabulous.
She looks fabulous. Okay, look, another dress.
Yeah.
How many dresses do you need, Demi? Honestly,
I think she had 2 dresses. So this dress was actually, I think, the same dress Miley Cyrus had on her wedding to marriage to Liam Hemsworth. And then I think she made a post saying, "I hope yours turns out better than mine." Paraphrasing, of course, because we all know where that ended. It's like they both had like the opposite reaction. Miley ended her marriage and went all, super emo woke, but she didn't gain weight. I'll give her that. And this one did the opposite. She looks so freaking good.
It's just wild to me, that before and after photo. That's what I was looking for the last night. I was like, no, I can't describe this. I'm trying to describe her to my parents, and then within a year, this. And my dad's like, I don't understand the reference. I was shocked last night when I saw that. I was like, dang.
Also, yeah.
Meanwhile, some of you all girlies are still single. Get it together.
Yeah.
If Demi can go from scary, whatever the heck that was, to this in a year, get it together, ladies.
Yep. Well, and someone mentioned in the chat, and this is something that I hope will change. So if you guys have seen Amanda Bynes, it does not look okay.
Oh, my poor girl.
I
I
can't
feel
believe
so
this is
bad for
her. And also, she has OF.
Oh no. Well,
It makes sense. Now, this is her. Like, she does not look like the same person.
no. Somebody
So-
rescue poor Amanda Bynes. Nobody will help her.
Also, like, I don't think a tattoo on the face is necessarily a good idea, seeing how people's faces change, when you age. Damn. At least we'll know who she is 100% all the time because of that tattoo.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like she crashed harder than Britney Spears. Absolutely. And like Britney, she crazy, okay? Maybe she should be under the conservatorship soon because of her social media. Or maybe she's just trolling all of us. I have no clue.
I don't know either. Yeah. I mean, Paris Hilton trolled us all for how many years?
Yeah. I hope that she's trolling, but I have a feeling she isn't trolling. Just maybe.
I feel so bad for and people like will spot her on the streets in LA. I've seen TikToks of people being like, "Oh my god, Amanda Bynes," like that's Amanda Bynes, and she's just looks like she's tweaking out all the time.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Things out. I'm so excited right now. What's up, everybody? I wanted to make a post that I finally grew my bangs out. I'm so excited right now. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Also wanted to
Her voice sounds deeper too.
Sounds different. Yeah. Are we sure this is her?
Maybe
I don't know.
she's one of the body, like her body's been snatched by an alien.
Ooh,
But it
another
does sound
body
like
double.
her. I can hear notes of her voice, like her inflections
Yeah.
in the speech.
You are
so.
ugly.
post that my best friend Dylan and I have been best friends for 10 years. And to mark our best friend anniversary, we got matching Roman numeral X's for the number 10. I got it on my finger. Dylan got it on her rib cage. So excited about that too. That is all. Hope everybody's having a good night. Bye.
There's some
Wow.
of her in there. I can see it. All I can hear is like, "I've seen you for what you truly are," and it is ugly. But that doesn't
Yeah.
sound like her either. I don't know.
So apparently she was under conservatorship for 9 years, and it ended August 2013. So I wonder if that's when her spiral became a thing, or is it more recently? Because obviously these pictures were within the last year or two that I've seen her, with the blonde hair grown out.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
she disappeared for the longest time, and nobody knew what happened to her. And I remember it was, oh gosh, probably a few years ago now. Somebody was like, "We found Amanda Bynes, like she's on the street," and they found her on the street, like literally on the street, drunk off her
Here.
booty.
This is it. She was placed
Yeah,
on a
Roman
psychiatric
streets.
hold.
Yeah.
after she was found roaming the streets of LA naked and alone. This is 2023.
Yeah.
She waved down a car and told the driver she was having a psychotic episode. Eyewitness says that she called 911 herself, and then she was taken to a nearby police station where a mental health team determined she needed to be placed in a psychiatric hold. Wow. And if this is from 2023, I don't know how old this photo is.
I
The
don't
difference 2 years have made have been not good.
Yeah, it's sad. And like nobody will, I mean, you know, she's probably 30 now. So it's like it's not like she's not underage. It's like you can yank her back. You know what I mean? But it's like her best friend Dylan for 10 years. Well, what is Dylan like? Why hasn't Dylan helped her? You know?
Mm-hmm. So weird.
Yes, she is a Nickelodeon baby. And if you've seen the documentary,
She did drugs
explains a
very
lot.
young too, right?
Well, I mean, all those. I mean, Brittany, all of them did. The Hollywood babies. There was that documentary about Nickelodeon and how many perverts were
Around. Well, especially after learning what Weinstein did, it's like,
yeah, it's very sad. So if you've seen the documentary, if you haven't seen the Nickelodeon documentary, I can't think of the name of it now, but if you go watch it and then you look at Amanda Bynes, you're like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. And actually, it makes sense on Demi Lovato's side too. Well, most of the Disney stars, everybody knows this. The only one that's really gotten out of there unscathed is Hilary Duff.
yes.
And Christy Carlson Romano. There's been like 2 of them.
It depends on your parents, okay?
Mhm.
Because you got to have really good parents that will protect you, even at the cost of roles. Because,
Yeah,
is it worth losing innocence? I don't think so.
it's so sad.
So, Jason Webster, thank you for the 5 Australian dollars. Says hi to perfectly exquisite Xray Girl and wonderfully vigorous Tuggs. My week is not complete without watching Poor Choices and Morning Roast. I'm so sorry about Poor Choices.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Sorry.
And after all that, it was gone in 15 minutes anyway. I was like, well, cool.
At least it wasn't 38 seconds.
That's fair.
I tease. All right, so Harry Potter casting announcement. We got the Harry Potter, Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger casting. And to be honest, I think they're pretty cute.
They're not bad. I'm
bad.
shocked. I'm shocked they didn't change Ron. He's actually a ginger. They did squeeze in their little DEI hire with Hermione, but
it's not
enough.
The worst.
It's not the worst.
There was a rumor around earlier a couple days before this about a black girl who was like in her 30s or something.
Oh yeah, I knew that one wasn't true. I was like, she's too old. There's no way. Unless they're gonna start older. Unless they were gonna flashback, which would be stupid. But anyway,
let me see if I can find a picture of this. Oh, here. This would have been. I mean, she looks young, but this would have been like the nail in the coffin.
I'm pretty sure that's the Juliet actress that was
Bad
with Tom
education
Holland.
star tipped to be eyed as the new Hermione. I don't know her.
No way.
Yeah, no way. People just are trolling. But the Harry Potter casting, I'm liking it. I'm digging it. So what we have so far for
I'm still not watching it until they recast Snape. I'm not doing it.
Well, we have the 3 kids. I like Dumbledore. That's fine.
That'll be interesting.
Hagrid's fine. This guy's fine too. He's more handsome than the original one, but makeup and maybe the turban will help make him not so cute.
That guy looks like a Fine. Is he related to Ralph Fiennes? Or not Fiennes, a Fassbender. He looks like a Fassbender.
Maybe
Luke
Fallon.
Oh, maybe not. Huh.
McGonagall looks fine. That works for me. And Finch, fine. I wish if they race swapped someone, it would have been like I would have been
literally
okay with
anybody
McGonagall.
else. Actually, no, not literally. Stop race swapping people, but really Snape.
Important to the story, the look is Snape's sallow skin, greasy hair. There was a picture on Twitter of Snape, him looking and dressed like Snape. Do I have the picture?
He looks terrible. It looks
Oh my
awful. They're not
God,
going to do the
haven't.
hair. They're not going to do the hair because it's not going to work. That kind of hairstyle, that kind of greasy hair does not work on black people. It just doesn't. Okay. That stringy, greasy hair doesn't work on black people. So he's going to have a completely different hairstyle. He's obviously not sallow. Harry Potter's dad, James, is going to be a white guy. So he's harassing
It's
this
gonna
black
look
kid.
like a supreme racist.
Yeah, it's awful. I can't. I as much as they got a lot of the other casting right, and I was so excited, I'm done. I'm not even gonna watch it. I'm not even gonna watch
Guys, I really, really, really like this wig on him. It actually does make him look ugly. Because Papa Asidu actually is like, you know, a good looking dude. But hey,
it. Yeah, you could wear swap Filch, Kingsley is right there. I don't
well,
understand.
isn't he actually black though in the book?
Yes, and he's from Africa.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they one of the most, and this united. I mean, this and the Lilo and Stitch movie have united everybody on all fronts.
Well, I think Lilo and Stitch is still going to do good. Like the
It's still gonna
movie
make money,
in the
yeah.
box office, kids are going to like it. They're going to enjoy it. They're not going to understand like the ending and complain like how some of the adults are about that. You know, switch of Ohana means family means no one gets left behind, and her going to school. And I've seen TikToks of people supporting it, and I still don't believe it. You can want to have a better life for your kids, but I've seen parents make sacrifices in so many different ways to make sure their kids are well taken care of. Because guess
Yep.
what? I don't know if I could trust a neighbor with my child, especially at 6 years old. They're really screwed up people out there. And
Yeah.
if they don't have any skin in the game, like
Well, and their parents had
their
just
family-
died, and so it's like, okay, well, I'm leaving you now. Like, what?
No.
I don't understand it. And also, she's native Hawaiian, so she gets to go to school in Hawaii for free. Hello? So, like, okay, yeah, the Marine Biology Institute of Hawaii is not on the same island that they are, but it's a hell of a lot easier to fight for your custody case when you are a boat ride away or a very short plane ride away than thousands of miles away. That's not how you win your custody battle. What?
Or bring her. You know, I would rather have her there under my supervision than to not. Also, how is she paying for school?
Well, apparently, according to the comments, it very clearly, I haven't seen the movie, but supposedly they very clearly state that she gets free tuition to USCD, to San Diego, and that's why she's going to California. I'm like, she gets free tuition in Hawaii. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I can't.
I would like if I had custody of my niece, I wouldn't be pawning her off on my neighbor. Well, we're not that close. Maybe
I know,
they're
people are
closer
like,
to their neighbors.
she didn't give up custody. I'm like, she gave her to a neighbor. I'm like, you still have to sign paperwork. You can't just hand your child or the kid
For a
that you're
year,
guardian over to
4
your neighbor
years?
and see like, bye. There's literal paperwork you have to fill out. She had to have given up custody. And then other people like, well, she lost custody of her. I was like, okay, well, there you go. Either way, she had to have given up custody of Lilo in order for the neighbor to take her and have her around without anybody else going, hey, why is Lilo with you all of a sudden? That's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, you think people aren't going to question that? Please.
Also, I don't think a university degree, the first one, the undergrad degree, will get you a job in marine biology. I think you actually have to have a master's or a PhD in order to work in that field. Unless you want to work in like, you know, what do you call it? One of those marine land types. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on I don't know what she went for specifically, if she's going to be a biologist or whatever. But I mean, if Hawaii has no marine life at all, clearly. Only California, guys. Only
Not well enough. Aquarium. Thank you, Snarks. Sorry. Well, that is one of the major, many failures Disney has gone through. And I actually think it's kind of funny that people are starting to actually notice these are failures. The New York Post posted a article saying, "Face it, Disney live action remakes are worthless abominations."
A little behind the times there, New York
A little
Post.
behind the times,
Just a
absolutely.
little behind.
And they talk about so many different movies that have bombed.
Hollywood Magic Kingdom. That's well done.
Yeah,
That's
I
clever.
miffed at Mickey. Hollywood's Magic Kingdom has once again delivered another awful live-action remake of the well-loved cartoon. For more than a decade, the House of Mouse has been addicted to these robotic abominations. It's a sickness. Over the weekend, the latest poor unfortunate soul was Lilo and Stitch, that sweet little 2002 movie about a Hawaiian girl and her fuzzy alien friend. As only Diz knows how to do it, the studio turned the story into a soulless downer, made its color palette practically sepia, which, now that they say this, I didn't notice that the coloring of these like remakes, it does feel like they put a sepia filter.
It is. They're all so dull. And especially Lilo and Stitch, it's Hawaii. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Hawaii. I don't know. It's full of color. There's literal hot pink flowers on trees out there. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, I didn't watch Lilo and Stitch, but I will say for sure, Snow White looked like it didn't have the liveliness you would expect of a forest.
Well, Stitch's coloring just from the trailers, he's a muted blue, whereas in the animated movie, he's like this bright. And even the costume that the cast member wears at the theme parks, it's this bright blue. It's a bright, fun blue. That's, I don't know.
Yeah. It's that sepia filter. It lowered the brightness of the blue. Who knows? Anyways, so it's a rancid trend as evidenced by the PR and box office wreckage of Snow White and the sloppy mush that made out of the Little Mermaid. I love the post because they're really trashing Disney, and it's making me feel so good that mainstream is finally noticing this. Iger and company's maniacal formula: take a cherished movie, uglify them, clumsily toss in political correctness, and presto, here's a lousy cash grab.
And they're not even making any cash. I think the last one that made really any money was it Beauty and the Beast?
Maybe.
Lion King might have made money, actually, now that I think about it. But
and
the only one that has been a decent adaptation was the 2015 Cinderella. That's the only one. Beauty and the Beast was terrible.
Aladdin made money.
Aladdin.
God,
I forgot about Aladdin.
Aladdin was okay. I think they did a well enough job for like the movie, but they were only sprinkling a little bit of political correctness at that time. Like the Jasmine song and her storyline changed a little bit, but it didn't bother me at the time. But like reflecting back on it with like, the eyes of today, it's like, you could see that downward spiral of, let's try a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more until it's completely infected the story.
Yeah. And they're also soulless. Every time I see a review that's not completely shill bias, I follow this girl named Savvy on social media, and she's very balanced on her reviews. She's a film was a film major in school, so she can like nitpick it in different ways or whatever. And she's like, I don't know what it is. She goes, she saw Lilo and Stitch, and she's like, it's fine. Like, your kids are gonna love it. If you've never seen Lilo and Stitch, like you've never seen the animated movie, you'll really like it. She goes, but if you have seen the animated movie, you're gonna be like me and be like, what the heck is this? She's like, there's no happiness to it. There's no soul. And she's like, and she's the same New York Post. She's like, I've noticed this with every single live action remake. They just have not brought that in. There's nothing to them. They're soulless. There's nothing there. And she's like, it's just really crazy. Cinderella was my favorite.
These stories need to have like a story about family, friendship, love, and loving yourself. Sure, it could be an okay story, but especially when you're kind of catering this to kids, I don't think you should necessarily be telling kids you should love yourself more over, your career, over your children. What does that send a message to kids about? Well, my parents should go and do the things that they want to do versus take care of me.
I know, and everybody defending it is like, well, what she's supposed to do? She lost custody. I was like, isn't it interesting that nobody gave a crap about her staying with Lilo in the animated one? She had to accept the fact that A, her parents are gone and she has to raise her sister by herself. That was a big contention. That was the whole point of the movie, was that they're family and she's not going to leave behind her baby sister, even though it's hard. She's 18 or whatever. It's hard. This and that and the other. That was the whole point of the movie in the original. And nobody gave a shit then. You didn't see anybody be like, she should have gone to college. Don't give up your dreams. But then now all of a sudden, because the live action did it, now all of a sudden that's what she should have done the whole time. What?
But you could do both, right? We gave possibilities as to their situation, and she could still go to school during the day, and while Lilo's in school, and do work, maybe bring her kid to work. It seemed to work for them that she was there anyways while she was working, Donnie was working. So who knows? You make it work. She could have had the help of the neighbor helping watch Lilo maybe during the evenings, and then on weekends be fully with Lilo. And I think that is way, way, way better than.
And you got to see the progression of Bubbles too, the caseworker. Right? His whole thing was like, I'm taking this little girl from you because you're 18 and stupid, which is fair. Right? You're a hot mess. This is a hot mess. And then you throw this alien in the mix and it's becoming more of a hot mess. And Bubbles has his own character arc where he's like, you know what? Okay, they obviously need each other. I'm not going to split this family up, which is more caseworkers need to be caring like that. But that was also an involvement of the caseworker and him having a heart. And there were so many underlying adorable messages and good messages in the original. And it's like, but no, we're going to make her go to, and not just go to college. We're going to send her to the mainland, which is literally a 5-hour flight. What?
She should have went to plumbing school or something.
I mean, she can go to marine biology school. You live in Hawaii. There's marine biology everywhere. It's literally, you look out your window. By it. Literally surrounded by it. I don't understand.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
This is my favorite part of the article. Has any of these debacles ever improved upon the animated original? Nope. Has one ever been on par? Nope. No. Have all the corporate automatons cruelly stomped on the magic and creativity of millions of childhoods? Oh, yes. And yet the nasty habit, born out of pathetic desperation, shows no sign of letting up. The company that actually employs artisans known as Imagineers has got no imagination left in the tank. So rinse and repeat it is. Ugh.
It's so annoying.
And they could have kept the story the same, but they wanted to meddle, change it up, change the plot, change the reasons for some of these, and it just doesn't translate across to people. And Snow White is a disaster on its own. Someone should write an essay on why Snow White failed and the multitude of reasons.
You could do a whole thesis on it. Where are my smarter college people at, looking at a thesis in filmmaking or whatever your thesis need? Here you go. This whole Disney's downfall honestly is an entire college subject on its own.
Manic Pixie Fangirl says, I knew a girl with a marine biology degree. She worked with me in the dog kennel. That degree really takes you places. And that's why I said undergraduate does nothing for you in these types of fields in the science world. You have to have a master's or onwards. I did nutritional science, and I actually talked to a bunch of different food developing companies, and they're like, we don't hire people without masters because education has been so, I say in quotes, elevated, meaning it's so saturated. Now we have to hire the more, the higher education, as they call it, because there's too many people. There's too many people to hire. So, whereas a lot of the times people just got undergraduate degrees and got great jobs. Do you remember those days? I didn't. Yeah. I didn't live during them.
I remember them, but I was not old enough to be one of them. I was not old enough.
Yup. This person says, I wanted to crawl out of my skin when Prince Eric tried to make out with Ariel during Kiss the Girl. In the cartoon, the innocent flirting is cute and romantic, but when actually played by human actors, some tapioca bland guy putting the moves on a mystified mermaid who can neither verbally communicate nor knows what a fork is becomes very, very creepy. I didn't watch Little Mermaid, so I don't know what that scene looks like with the live action, but I mean, I can probably believe that. Yeah. Oh, and then she talks about the Aquafina scuttlebutt rap.
I
Oh
didn't even
god.
realize Aquafina played Scuttle, and I wish I'd never found that information out.
Oh my god, when she does that rap song, it is horrifying. I liked Aquafina in, Crazy Rich Asians,
Mm.
but some of the more serious roles, it doesn't translate very well. Same thing when she was in the oh shoot, what was with the 10 rings with Simu Liu. You chat, you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, I can't wait. And from what I hear, her performance is really good. The little girl in the movie. And
Yeah, I
Stitch,
have not heard about, I mean, just any of that. It's just the story changes. People are like, are you kidding? Well, one, they cut Gantu out, the shark villain. So that changes that automatically, that changes the whole story. And then
he
I
was
heard,
so cool though.
yeah, and that, I mean, that changes the whole story. Gantu is the villain, guys. And then Jumba
Yeah.
apparently is now the villain.
Oh.
According to people I've seen, it's because they cut Gantu out, so they had to make a new villain, and that's Jumba, which doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
That sucks. Apparently, according to this article, the major plot point in the remake is Lilo's sister Nani needs to get them health insurance. Oh,
Obamacare, you are a part of the United States. You get free health insurance because okay, whatever. Anyway.
Anyways, like who wants to talk about health insurance as a kid? That's literally so stupid. The movie will probably make $1 billion and do well even afterwards, but this is not the worst Disney offense, but it's on par with Aladdin, where if this came out during when Aladdin came out, it would have like probably done 1.5 to 2 billion. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's not the worst, but it's not the best that they could do.
This was for Stitch merchandise. Here's the thing though, J-Red. Disney capitalizes on Stitch all the time anyway. It's been 20 years since the original, maybe even longer, since the original movie came out. And Stitch is just as popular now as he was 20 years ago. People love Stitch. They literally dropped a Stitch pin set. God, I don't know how many years ago now. For Avengers, where he is wearing all the Avengers costumes, and it sold out in 0.5 seconds. Like,
because Stitch
everybody loves Stitch. The Stitch is not the problem. Disney's doing. You never lost the popularity.
Problem.
Yeah, what they should have done.
They like to get in the way of themselves.
Mm-hmm. Stitch has 3 movies and a TV show. Yeah.
Health insurance was one of my favorite subjects to discuss as a child.
Mike is more mature than we are.
Maybe. Anywho, Cajun Core with $5. Why did Star Wars Episode 4, 5, and 6 come out before 1, 2, and 3? Because in charge of directing Yoda was. Oh my god.
That's a classic.
I love that. I'm okay with those prequels. Those prequels were fine. Anyways, I saw this video and I'm kind of sad Mr. P isn't here, but you got to be careful apparently when you tip Uber Eats.
Oh god, what is happening in this? What is going on?
Just wait for it. Just wait for it.
Hello.
Ignore it. You keep that.
Why?
Because I didn't see a tip on the app and I put a little card in there. So please keep that. I'm sorry.
No, I just had cash. Please.
It's okay. It's okay because it's okay. Thank you.
Have a.
So I didn't know that people.
Wait, what? What does that mean?
So she had cash, so she was going to give cash tip to the Uber driver, Uber Eats, or whatever service this is. And I've done this before too. It's like I'll do a standard tip, maybe $5 at most, but if I have cash, I'll pay a cash tip because also it's, it's not tracked. It's not tracked on there, so you don't have to put it in taxes depending on where you are because they tax your tips. And so I prefer cash tips too. So yeah, I do that. But apparently she's a big a-hole and decided to leave this girl a note about her tip.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. Lucky for you, I didn't bother the food, but next time consider tipping your driver. Can you imagine the audacity of this woman?
Lucky for you, I was gonna mess with your food.
If you didn't tip, that is
I hope
an offense.
I hope she turned this person in to Uber Eats and this girl lost her job. I hope she did. That is disgusting. That's
It is
disgusting.
absolutely horrible. And yeah, everyone in chat, if you've ever worked a job with tips, wouldn't you prefer cash tips?
No wonder she felt so bad. Yeah, her guilt immediately. She's like, no. I put a card in there, and I was like, a card.
Can you imagine getting this in your food? Oh my god. Maybe you shouldn't be quick to judge. 100%.
Oh my god.
I'm guessing she's actually done this before.
Oh,
where she actually
absolutely.
has-
That girl needs to be investigated immediately.
Which I like when restaurants do things like tape things down because people have eaten food before, so you'll know if the food has been tampered with. Fiesta Cat, worse when you tip and only get half your food. Has that happened to you, Fiesta Cat? Thank you for the $2.
Oh gosh.
That's insane.
Tip your local Xray Tuggs. Yeah, tip us. We won't mess
Yeah.
with you guys' food, I promise. Okay.
Or maybe you do. Like, guys, if you ordered a cake and I sat on it, would you still eat it? I'm kidding. There was a time people like sat on cakes on streams. I don't understand why.
Oh, jeez. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, no idea why.
Oh god. What is the rest of the video?
That is just it. It
Oh.
showed the note.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you tip people, apparently. I do think tipping culture, I don't love it. And this is someone who, worked with tipping culture. And I, for the most part, except for like maybe the first year or two when I was trying to learn how to talk to clients, like I did pretty well with tips. But I think that you should naturally want to do well at your job, not do well just to make tips.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Tips were
Yeah.
never a guarantee. Tipping is dumb, but pre-tipping before you get the services is dumb. Exactly. Thank you. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
It should
also,
always be given after.
Why am I tipping you as a driver? That's your job. If anything, the tip should go to the restaurant that made the food. Like you're just the in-between guy. Why
And
do you need to be tipped?
The worst part is restaurants actually lose a lot of money. That's why you see food prices on those food apps. They're actually higher than the restaurant price because the apps actually take 30% of the profit or the price. And so some restaurants actually lose money doing stuff like that. So they have to increase the price to at least make even.
Yeah.
So if you guys do go to these restaurants and they have their own delivery service,
use that instead.
Call them instead because, they're losing out more. Or if you can, maybe pick up the food. I tend to be super cheap. No surprise there, I'm Asian. And I will go pick up food. Kara always laughs at me because I tell her, if you want coffee from Starbucks when we're like hanging out, I will go to Starbucks and drive and get coffee. I'd rather you pay me the tip at that rate.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the
I do
delivery
too.
fee than for you to just pay for someone else to do it.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, the tipping culture out here has gotten insane. Like we're the only country that does this. It's wild.
Well,
It's
Canada does
insane.
it too.
Oh, fair.
In the UK, I think in the Europes they don't tip, right?
Unless you have extremely good service, which is how it used to be. Like, wow, I was at this restaurant and this waitress went out of her way to remember that it was my dad's birthday and she brought a cupcake and whatever, right? And then so you're like, you are amazing here. Or, you see people, you'll see stories, or you used to see stories of like, the waiter or waitress comes by, and usually most waitresses are in high school or in college, making extra cash to help pay their bills or whatever. And you'll see people tip them a little extra, here, put this towards, your college or for whatever, that kind of thing. Like that was what tipping was. It was people who went out of their way to make your day better.
Yep.
And then so you got a tip, and it was always
Above and
cash.
beyond.
It was never, because that's the point. Like, this is for you. This is not for the restaurant. That's why we say, hey, this is for you.
Yeah. Also, I hate that restaurants, bartenders and servers, they get a lower rate than minimum wage because they assume you'll make more money with tips.
On tips,
No, you should be paid minimum wage at the very least, I think.
Yep.
I think it's disgusting to be like, oh, you're less than we're
Yeah.
gonna pay you $6 instead of $8 or whatever it is. I don't really know what minimum wage is nowadays. So boo. Anywho. Jason Webster with the 5 Australian. Your Honor, if it pleases the court of popular opinion, I would like to present Exhibit A into evidence that proves why Snow White failed. Rachel Zegler. And there's a lot of reasons from Rachel Zegler in general. She has foot and mouth syndrome, but she doesn't think she does.
Yeah.
I'd be curious if years later, like 10 years later down the line, if she ever admits to being super rash and vocal when she probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or if she has a career even at that point that she can make a statement like that. Because you never know. Maybe years later she'll get based and realize.
Sorry, kitty.
But she has done so many things that are egregious that, you know, she doesn't care. She has people coming and telling her, don't do this. And yes, she still does. And I'm sorry, she's not young anymore, okay? She's old enough to realize. Okay? Jenna Ortega is around the same age as her. And look at the public persona that she puts out compared to Rachel Zegler.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Cajun Core for 5. Whenever I try to eat healthy, a chocolate bar looks at me and Snickers. Oh my god.
That's funny.
Good job. Good job. Cajun Corey for 5 says, I once had a job with the zoo. Oh god, circumcising elephants. It didn't pay much, but the tips were huge.
Ew!
That is disgusting. That is disgusting. Wow. No reply to that. Am I still in Canada? Yes. Yes, I'm still in Canada. I haven't gotten a visa to stay in the States yet. One day.
We kicked her out.
I'm coming back in a few weeks, so chat. Let's see. Tuggs, what are you up to?
Dodging weather, hopefully. I'll be back to streaming at some point. I don't know when yet.
Very, very, very nice.
Yeah.
I am probably going to be I have to edit a video today. Maybe in the mid-afternoon, I'll play some Expedition 33. And then in the evening, I have gaming with Kara, which I think we're playing Saints Row. So that's going to be at 7:30 tonight as she has doggy training. And so we had to push the stream back a little bit. And then next week, we'll be back with Tuggs for Outlast Trials.
Yes.
And of course, Poor Choices. And I'm so freaking pumped for that. I hate the game, but I've been told that I'm a big baby. So I have to stop being so big of a baby. Because apparently they stop chasing you after a little while. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they do have patterns. I have been noticing because I'll hide and I kind of watch them. But the thing is if you time it wrong, you're gonna get chased again. So
yeah, and I hid in that stupid fridge for like half of the game.
I've been better. I know it's a weird plot twist when I'm the braver one. Monkey and I are running around. I'm like, I'll meet Monkey. I'm like, I'll distract him. You go.
Yeah. Monkey has berated me on how big of a baby I am. Thanks, bro. Night Rain. I am not good at Elden Ring games, so I do not anticipate me playing this game. Now, if someone decides to make me play it, like if it's gifted, I'll play it.
I haven't touched Elden Ring since it came out. Since the last time you and I played, well, I think with Johnny, because I know we did with Mark once, and then I think Johnny helped us another time. I don't remember the order of things, but that was the last time I played. I haven't played it since.
Oh, I know. Like at one point, Mark was helping bosses.
Yeah.
Not that it was like a bad thing, but just if you have help with these things, then you don't learn to be better.
Yeah.
But
we still die terribly.
Yeah. And I'm really high leveled.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna make me play it. So
I haven't touched Elden Ring since it came out.
And it's a good idea to play that game again because the amount of bosses you see is insane. So let's just say I'm probably not going to do well. I'm not going to start with the first Dark Souls game. I'm not good at Dark Souls. Yeah, okay, here, Mike. If you play Outlast, I'll play Night Rain.
Mike, you should come join us on Tuesdays for Outlast Trials.
Mm-hmm.
That's a group one. It's not. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still scary, but it's not like Outlast scary.
Just know that I will literally be a bigger baby than you. You'll be between somewhere like me and Tuggs in terms of bravery, I think. So, you know, I think this is a good.
You should come play Outlast Trials with us, Mike, on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday.
Anywho, all right, chat. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the super chats and being part of the conversation. We'll be back next week with Mr. Porkchop. Make sure you go and wish Applesauce, his son,
yes,
a very happy birthday. Think they're going out today as a family if they're not out already, and maybe bother Mr. Porkchop about his drinking. You know, he had a lot of drinks on Sunday and they were really fun, and he was really fun and he regretted it. You know, we all have those stories.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next week, Tuesday, right here, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So bye, everyone.
Up to morning roasts.
Rainbow, dildo, butt monkey are 4 words no one ever imagined uttering in the same sentence, but here we are. 3, 2, oh my God, Mr.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
You do you, but I'll do myself. Oh no, God. Haywood Jablomi, thanks for the 10 Canadian. I love my Canadians out there.
I like a rich tea when it's like super soggy and it's like flopping around.
Ori! Use 150 bits to play a part.
Did I say it right?
I have no idea.
Oh no, no!
God, this is going bad. This is bad.
Pickle juice. Pickle juice.
Wake up to morning roasts. And Tuggs, Xray, they're the hosts. Wake up, the fun is here.
Actually, I think a cup of coffee is just what I need.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want that in my mouth.